Hey guys, to begin today's 5th grade worksheets, we are going to be starting off with subtracting decimals. So the first thing to remember when subtracting decimals, when it comes to problems like these, so you have a whole number and a big decimal, is that the answer is always going to end up with the same amount of decimals as whatever you're subtracting to or whatever is being subtracted from. So what I mean is, for example, let's look at number 2. So we see that 0.007 has 3 decimal places, 6 has none decimal places. So how are we going to subtract 16 from this big decimal? Where we're going to create or give 16 some decimal places, 3 to be exact, just like 0.007. And we're just going to subtract from that, so 0.007. And we're going to do all the same subtracting. So carry the 1, 9, 3. And then you end up with, once again, the 3 decimal places like I just said. And then your answer is 15.993. Let's do one more. So for example, number 5. Well, we see that there's only 1 decimal places out of the entire problem. So that's where we're going to give 16, 1 decimal place. And then you're going to subtract normally. So you're going to carry the 1, take 1 from 6, and then you're going to subtract. Remember, 1 decimal place. We're going to keep it the same. And then 4, 1. That is your answer, 14.6. Moving on, now we're going to be rounding numbers. So rounding numbers is one of the most easiest concepts, but just to recap, any number that, so 5 is the basic number, the number you want to base it off of. So what I mean by is, so this is a greater symbol. So it's saying 5 is greater than this whatever number. If 5 is bigger than this number, then you just keep it the same. However, if the 5 is less than this number here, so this number is bigger, you go 1 up. And it's an including 5, so you can say equal or bigger. So what I mean by the equal part is, so let's look at number 2. We see 615,571. So we're going to be seeing if we round 5 up or not, and we're going to be basing it off there. So let's look at the number 1 to the right, and we see that it's a 5. So like I just said, if it's 5 or the number is bigger, you go 1 up. And since it's 5, you're going to increase this 5 by 1, so you're going to 616. And since we're only basing it up to there, the rest becomes 0. And that is your new answer, new and rounded answer. And let's try one more. Let's look at number 5. So we're going to be seeing if we change 5 or not. So let's look at the 1 number to the right. And we see that it's 1. And 1 is obviously smaller than 5. So you keep the 5 the same, and the rest becomes 0. That is your rounded answer. Moving on, we're going to be dividing. It says, find the quotient. So remember this word, quotient, and it is basically the answer from a division problem. So we are going to be getting some remainders here, but that's all right. So let's look at 260 and 80. So we're going to make it easy on ourselves and use this format. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight into it. 80 doesn't go into 26, but it does go into 260, but we don't know what. So we're just going to have to think about it. All right, but one of the easiest ways you can think about it is just to focus on 8. Just 8. Since 0, you can add the 0 in the end. So now, and then we're going to focus on 26. So how many times does the 8 go into 26? It goes in about 3 times. And then you're going to bring everything in, including that 1 0. So 8 times 3 is 24. You're going to add the 0. And you get 20. And, oh, sorry. I placed the 3 in the wrong place. 3. And obviously, there's no decimal that's going to continue. 80 doesn't go into 20, so you get 3 with the remainder of 20. Let's try one more. Alright, 39 divided by 10. Let's make it easier on ourselves. And once again, I'm just going to go straight into it. 10 does not go into 3, but it does go into 39. Now, obviously, 39 doesn't have any zeros, but 10 is a very easy number to determine. So it goes by 10, 20, 30, 40, so on. And we see that 39 is very close to 40, but it is not exactly 40. We can't just say, oh, 39 is 40, because it is not. So we're going to place 3 here. We're going to subtract it by 30. And we're left with 9. 10 does not go into 9, so you're going to get 3 with the remainder of 9. Last page. Prime factors. List the prime numbers for each number. A prime number, before you begin, is a number that only has 2 things that I can multiply by. That number itself and 1. So number 1 is a prime number. So it says list of prime numbers for each number. Well, obviously we know 1. 1 is one of the most practical ones. So we don't need listed. You can, but we all know. And so the next one is 2, obviously, because 2 times 1. And there is nothing else that you can multiply by. So 2 is your answer. And let's try number 3. 37. Well, 37, we don't know anything besides 37 and 1 that divide each other and have a perfect whole number. So, once again, the prime number is just 37 and 1. However, let's look at number 4. We see 9. Okay, yes, 1 does work, 1 and 9, but we also have 3 times 3, right? So, this is not a prime number. So, we're just going to write no prime. I hope this all made sense, and thank you for listening.